Hey guys, I know the systems quiz 1 is coming up, so I'm going to make one video where I go through the 4 practice sets that lead right up to that. So it's 4 problems, 4 problems, 4 problems, 16 problems that are leading up to quiz 1, just so that you can see them again. All right, it says, is 1, 2 a solution to both equations? This is really straightforward. You just plug it in. Does this make this true? That's the x, that's the y. 2 times 1 is 2, that's a 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Here, 3 times 1 is 3, minus 1 is 2. It gives me out the 2. Yes, it works for both of them. Is 210 a solution of the system? So in order for it to be a solution of the system, it has to make them both true. So if you plug in 2 down here, negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. That's positive 10. Negative 10 plus positive 10 is not 2. That's a no. Now, it might have worked in the top one, negative 6, if you put in 2. Negative 6 plus negative 4 also doesn't equal 4. It doesn't work for either. It has to work for both. It is not a solution. Is 4 2 a solution to the system? Again, for it to be a solution, it has to make them both true. So in the top one, 4 minus 2 is 2. That works. In the bottom, 3 times 4 is 12, plus 4 is 16. That isn't 2. It worked for one, but not both. Not a solution. Last one more time, 3, 7. So negative 4 times 3 is negative 12, minus 5 is not 7. It's negative 17. It doesn't matter whether it works in this one. It didn't work in both. All right, that one's done. This one, we're going to solve by graphing. So we're going to have to graph both these lines. This top line, I'm going to move this over here. This top line, it's in slope-intercept form. So we're told right off the bat we have the point 0, 6. And now our slope tells us this is negative 5 over 1. So this tells me move one spot to the right for the bottom of the fraction, negative 1, and then down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right there. Now again, I'm going to move this out of my way. This goes through the point 0, negative 2, because it's in slope-intercept form. And then because this is 3, that's the fraction 3 over 1. That tells me move one spot to the right, and then 1, 2, 3 units up. There's my graph. And now we can clearly see where the two lines meet. They meet where x is 1 and y is 1. Same thing again, we're graphing again. Now this isn't in slope-intercept form, although if you wanted to, you could turn it into slope-intercept form. It's in standard form, so we're going to have to work on this a little bit. Now, the top one, you can use, the nice thing about this is set up for using intercepts, okay? So if this is 0, y is 0, then negative 2 times 2 gives me negative 4. So that goes through the point 2, 0. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. This is 0, gives me negative 2. Negative 4, pardon me. Now, if you have this be 0, then 2 times what gives me negative 4? Well, that would be negative 2. So it goes through the point 2, 0, and 0, negative 2. Now, same thing goes here. We're going to talk about intercepts. If this is 0, then that has to be negative 6, 0. And likewise, if this is 0, this is 0, negative 6. So there's my two intercepts. So now where do the lines cross? They cross at negative 2, negative 4. We're going to graph, again, not in standard form. So we're going to try to use our intercepts. If this is 0, this isn't here, then 2 times 3 would give me 6. So that goes through the point 3, 0. If this is 0, then 3 times 2 gives me 6. So that goes through the point 0, 2. So there's the first graph. The next one, if this is 0, negative 4 times negative 3 would give me 12. So that goes through the point negative 3, 0. If this was 0, then 3 times 4. So that's 0, 4. So there's my graph. Now, I want to know what the answer is. Well, the lines intersect at negative 1. You went left. So it's either these two. Now, it's bigger than 2, but less than 3. Bigger than 2, but less than 3. Last one, slope-intercept form makes it easier. We know right off the bat it goes through the point 0, 7. And then this tells me go 1 right, 2 down. This one starts out at 0, -7. And then this tells me go 1 right and then 5 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, where do they cross? They clearly cross when x is 2 and y is 3. All right, we're halfway home. All right, now this is the one where they're wanting us to write systems. This is about being able to read and tell which one they're talking about. Fred is 4 times as old as Nathan. So Fred is older than Nathan. It's right here. Fred is 4 times Nathan. It is not Nathan is 4 times Fred. So we know we're down to one of these two choices. And is also 27 years older than Nathan. So you're adding to Nathan's age to get Fred. You're not subtracting from Nathan's age, you're adding to Nathan's age. Toby skated from his house to the beach at a constant rate of 8 kilometers per hour, then skated from the beach to the park at a constant rate of 7 miles per hour. The total distance Toby skated was 20 kilometers, and it took him twice as long to get to the park. Now, they tell us that B, the variables are in time. B, the number of hours it took, P, the number of hours. So we're going to have a time equation. That's going to be, it took him twice as long. So we know that it took him twice as long to get to the park. So the park is double the time it took him to get to the beach. The park is longer than the beach time. So park equals 2B. Now, I'm not positive if it's this one or this one. That's what we're going to talk about. Going to the beach, he drove at 8 kilometers per hour. So 8 times the time it took him to go to the beach is how far he went. Rate times time equals distance. So it's going to be D, because you take 8 for beach, 7 for park, right there. All right, again, Kaylin has some yarn that she wants to use to make hats and scarf. Each hat uses 2 kilograms of yarn, and each scarf uses 0.1 kilograms of yarn. Katie wants to make 3 times as many scarves and hats and use 5 kilograms of yarn. So we're going to have an equation about total number, and then we're going to have an equation about yarn. Well, total number, she wants 3 times as many scarves as hats. So she wants more scarves than hats. 3 times as many scarves as hats. So scarves equals 3 times the number of hats. So we're one of these two. Now, it's 0.2 kilograms of yarn for each scarf. 0.2 for each scarf. 0.1. Wait, see, I read that again. Read that wrong. Hat uses 0.2 kilograms. So 0.2 for each hat. 0.2 for each hat. And 0.1 for each scarf. And she needs a total of 5. So scarves equals 3 times hats, and then 0.2 times each hat plus 0.1 times each scarf equals 5 total things of yarn. Ava uses a blend of dark chocolate and milk chocolate to make the ice cream topping at her restaurant. She wants to buy 10 kilograms more of dark chocolate than milk chocolate, and she needs 150 kilograms of chocolate in her next order. So we're going to have about how much she's going to buy, and she uses a blend, okay? So she needs 10 kilograms more, and she needs a total of 150 kilograms. So she's going to take dark plus milk has to add up to 150. You'll notice that's in all 4 equations. The question is, what's the other equation going to be? Well, she wants 10 more dark than milk. So milk is less than dark. So you're adding something to the milk. You're not multiplying. It's not 10 times as much. It's 10 more than. So you're taking the milk plus 10 and getting dark. Milk plus 10 gets dark. All right, last one. This is where we interpret what the lines are. Aiden wants to get a subscription to an online library. There are 2 subscription options, one of which charges a fixed $96 annual fee, and the other which charges $3 per book. So we've got these 2 lines. This is the $96 annual fee. This is the one where each one is equal to 3 times the book. So every point on this represents some value where you're charging, it's 3 times the number of books you have. This represents the fact that you paid $96 no matter how many books you got. So we want to know where Q is. Okay, a number of books and their cost where the subscription was the annual fee cost less. Okay, a number of books and their cost where the subscription that the charges per book cost less. A number of books and their costs where both are the same, and a number of books and their cost that is not possible. Okay, Q. Well, that's 50 books. He paid $96. Had he done 50 books at the rate, he would have paid $150. A number of books and their cost where the subscription was less than the annual, which one is X is the number of books, and Y is, okay, a number of books and their cost where the subscription with the annual fee costs less. The annual fee is the $96. This is what we're looking for. Q is not a point where a Q where the price per book would have been less would have been here. All right, we're mixing, we've seen this one a couple times. I've done this video before. We're mixing butterfat and regular milk. You're mixing whipping cream and regular milk to get a percentage of butterfat. That's this line here. So you're taking 18% of your whipping cream, 4% of your whole milk, and you're getting a 12% of 500. This is where we're getting the proper amount of butterfat. This line shows that we end up with 500 total liters of milk, or milk product, I guess is a better way to phrase it. Okay, we want to know what M is. Well, M has the correct amount. It's 500 milliliters, but it isn't the correct butterfat. It's to the right, so it's more butterfat than we need. The mixture has more than the intended volume. No, it's spot on the volume. It has 500 milliliters, or liters, I guess. The mixture has the intended volume, yes, and has more than the intended butterfat. That's the one we're looking for. The mixture has less than the intended volume. No, it's right on the volume. And has more than, nope. The mixture has the intended volume and the intended butterfat. No, that happens right here. That's the only point. All right, again, here we go. You've got an equation about these two people who were driving speeds. One person had a head start of 10, so the red line is this person who was going 2 meters per second but had a 10-meter head start. This line is the person who was trying to catch up, and they were going 3 meters per second. And that's Chana is the 3 meters per second, and Josiah was the one that got the head start. So we want to know what F represents. China's distance from the starting line at a time when she was behind Josiah. This line is Josiah's line. F is something about Josiah, not Chana. Josiah's distance from the starting line at a time when he was behind Chana. That's the one we're looking for. She has passed him. Now let's read the others. Chana and Josiah's distance from the starting point at a time when Chana catches up to him. Now that's this point back here where they tie. Chana's distance from the starting line at a point when she is farther than Josiah. Well, she is farther, but we're not talking about her line. We're talking about Josiah's line. Last one. This is about mixing corn. Okay, so we have this is the proper total weight, and then this is the proper mixture to get $12. Okay, so if you read this is about the proper 50 kilograms, and this is about getting the proper mixture to get a total of $12 spent. You'll notice there's only one place. So where are we? Well, we're on the $12 line. We got the right amount of money. We didn't hit the total amount of corn. Marcella spends the intended amount of money, yes, and buys the intended amount of corn. No, that would be right here. Marcella spends the intended amount of money, buys more than the intended amount of corn. Okay, she's spent the right amount of money and she has higher. So that's the one. She bought more than the intended amount. Marcella spends less than the intended amount of money. No, she spent right on. That one's not it. Marcella spends less than the intended amount of money. No, she spent the correct amount of money. She just got more than she needed corn. All right, that should prep you for the Systems of Equation Quiz 1. Good luck, guys. Have a good weekend.